Hey everyone, Mr. Martin here, and I want to talk to you about the importance of referencing your source material. You hear me call this citing your evidence or in-text citations. Basically, it's showing me who said what and where you got it from. Okay, so the reason why I want you to do this is number one, to avoid plagiarism. Don't use anybody else's work. And if you do, you need to credit them. You need to give them their proper due for actually coming up with that data or that information. You must avoid plagiarism at all costs. And here's where it kind of shows up in your world, all the way down here at the bottom. Even when you paraphrase or summarize, you can be accused of plagiarism if you don't tell me where you're getting your information from. So it's that part right down here at the bottom of your screen. You often see this when you provide quotations. But if it's anything, if you're doing anything on this list, anything on that list, you get it from somewhere else, any data, any information, any thought, you need to cite your source. Okay, anything you do, you need to cite your source. So how do you do that? Well, we use the MLA style guide. And all I'm going to require you to do is tell me the name of the author, the name of the publication, and where on that publication you got your information. And I'm going to walk through a couple of examples. So when we paraphrase, this is a way or three that you can get your in-text citation done. Remember, you're telling me what you got from somebody else and where you got it from. Our source materials down here at the bottom, it is Hall's The Coroner by Basingstoke Pan Books 2009. Okay, that is the source material. I use it one of three ways. The awkwardness of conversations between a patient and a doctor has been presented, one of our rhetorical verbs, in Hall, pages 7 to 10. And that goes in parentheses with the period at the end. You'll notice that there's a period outside of the parentheses and after the sentence for all three of these, okay? Example 2, the conversation between a patient and their doctor can be an awkward interaction. I got this from Hall's book on pages 7 to 10. Example number 3, Hall's The Coroner, which is the name of the book, 7 to 10. So I've told you what page I've got it on, describes an awkward consultation between a patient and a doctor. Once again, I cannot tell you how important it is to punctuate this correctly. The parentheses hold the pages, but the parentheses and the author's name go before the punctuation mark. If this was a quote, okay, if this was a quote, you actually have two different ways to put it in. There's a short quote, as I'm illustrating right here. It's the brief phrase that comes inside of quotation marks. But you'll notice right here, as Neville states, quotation, you should cite all sources and present full details of these in your list of references. End quote, you'll notice we use the same punctuation at the end. The page number comes inside the parentheses, followed by a period. Here's what it looks like if it was written into one of your essays. As Neville states, our quote, end quote, followed by the page number and a period. This part on the back end is probably the most important when citing a quote in your essay. For longer quotes, we're going to use block quotation, and this gets tricky on your Google Doc. We still need to include the page line or page number, but you have to do that outside of your end punctuation because it's a block quote. That's the only difference right there at the end, because it's a block quote. And block quotes, I'll go back. All right, that's when we have quotations. Where is it? That are longer, right there, longer than 4 lines. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. So if there's no paragraph or page number, such as like an article from the internet, something you find on the web, just give them the name of the author or organization inside your parentheses, and you can say no page or end page or no pagination inside those parentheses when you're giving that information. All right, I hope you guys got a little bit of a sense of what in-text citation is. Don't worry, we're going to go over this a number of times throughout the year. I want you to have this information, though, on this video as a source of reference. And then there is a link here at the bottom that takes you to a Purdue website page that can walk you through pretty much any scenario you may have when it comes to in-text citations. Any questions? I'm just kidding. Always come to me.